What up, y'all? It's your boy Body Bags. Make sure y'all like, hit, comment, subscribe. I've been wanting to do the video about Max B. You know, I put a short out there. I've seen a lot of people's comments. Which y'all are weird. Anytime y'all see a white dude making a video, y'all be saying that Malibu, this, and that. But, I ain't from the suburbs, bro. That's a fact. That's a Fendi fact. See all those up on the wall? Those is people. That's not family. But anyways, see a lot of people putting out these videos, they're putting just, you know, like recent things of why Jim Jones and Max B don't get along and stuff like that. And I haven't seen a video where people put out like the full explanation of everything. You know, because it was deep. It was deep. And the biggest issue was that Max wasn't getting paid for real. Now, Jim did pay Max a little bit of bread, a signing bonus and all that stuff. But that Ballin' song went absolutely apeshit. And see, I don't know if a lot of y'all know or don't know, but Max B is the one that wrote Balling. It wasn't Jim Jones. See, people fail to realize, and because all these hip hop YouTube channels or these podcasts that they have, they don't talk about, besides like Joe and Jada and Nori's Drink Champs, they don't talk about the past for real. They talk about current drama, people ratting, stuff like that, paperwork, all that little weird stuff. But nobody's really talking about the origin of hip hop, right? So back then you had Max B, you had Stack Bundles, and there was a couple other dudes that was in Bird Gang, right? So the first issue was Stack Bundles. Jim would not pay for Stack Bundles to move up out of Harlem, right? And he really wasn't paying Stack either. So then, like I said, Max wasn't getting paid, and then Max was writing for Jim Jones, and Jim wasn't giving Max the credit, he wasn't paying him, none of that, right? So they ended up splitting up. That was the biggest problem, was the money, right? That's what initially was the big issue. And then after that, Max B just went absolutely apeshit on Jim Jones. That's just what it is. He made a bunch of diss songs. He made the one song talking about his wife. He was alleging that he was sleeping with his wife, and you know, that's why Jim Jones is really mad. Y'all seen what he just said on that podcast with Mano? He ain't hearing none of that, which that don't make sense, because French and Max is the wave. Like, what are they talking about? That's mac and cheese right there. You know, we had the mixtapes by him. Max is gonna blow up. I guarantee y'all. Y'all gonna see why too. Because Max just a player, bro. He just a player, get money, do all that. You know, you got weirdo whack 100 talking about him right now. You know, he tries to put everybody as a rat, and we all know he is. But that's what really stemmed it. You know what I mean? Max B was writing for Jim Jones, and everybody knew it. And Jim tries to act like he's like one of these top tier rappers, and he's not. It's a joke. Like, bro, you're trying to change the narrative that ain't real. You didn't pay any of your artists. You were another Puff. At the end of the day, you was jerking your artists. At the end of the day, that's just what it was. But you know, there was a lot of other street situations that happened too. You know, I'm not gonna get into all that. It's not hip hop at the end of the day. But that was the main reason. Cause like I said, Max B was pretty much Jim Jones ghostwriter, and he wasn't getting paid. That's just it. That's just it. What it was. You know what I mean? And like I said, Mac's gonna blow up. Y'all gonna see something crazy coming from the Wave God right now. And French, they're about to blow up. But again, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment. You know, I'll make a part 2 to this and get more in depth with it of other issues that had occurred, because there was a lot of other issues that occurred. You know, you also had that French Montana situation happen where Jim Jones and all of them was throwing the ice at him on the stage. You know, that resorted into some things going on. But Jim has no, besides his own actions, like usual, real issues with Max. He was jerking him. He wasn't paying him. That's what it comes down to. But I'm out.